Hey guys, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a continuation of yesterday's video. Just discussing some of the tools and equipment that you may want to get, need, use for things like Warhammer, painting, modelling and all that type of stuff, and all miniature making. As always guys though, before we get going into this, if you like the videos, hit the like button, please hit the subscribe and drop a comment down below. It's always very much appreciated. But let's continue on from yesterday. So yesterday I went through the kind of brushes that I've got used and stuff like that, and the brush cleanser and stuff like that, and used for and showing off the painting handle that you can get from good old Citadel. But of course you're going to need other tools, so you're going to need to be able to cut off your models from the sprue. So you're going to need some cutters. So I use two different sets of cutters. This set is the normal set, so this is my main one for cutting off the sprues and stuff like that. Fairly good, it's a fairly strong set, pretty cheap. It is an actual Citadel one from a starter set from ages ago. You can get better ones, you can get the newer Citadel one. It is a bit better, a bit tougher, and it looks a lot nicer. And then there's this one which is actually from a jewellery making set and stuff like that. Pretty tough. It's, you know, part of it's kind of come out of place for some reason because it was bought cheap off eBay. But this is a little bit more kind of, there's a couple of gaps in between the blades. I don't know if you'll ever focus on that and see it, but it's not as kind of straight cutting as possible. And because it's a bit chunkier as well, it's a little bit more awkward to cut up plastic off sprues, but it's good for cutting down the sprues when you want to, if you're going to do things like the frost crystals and warpstone crystals that I did a video tutorial on the other day, or if you want to do some other bits and pieces, you can do that with it. Cutting metal as well, they're pretty good for cutting wire. Which, talking of wire and cutting wire, the other thing, it's not proper tool that I do use. I use that. It looks really weird and looks really stupid, but all it is, it's a wine bottle top that you get a pack of from Wilco. You get like a pack of, I think it's 10 of them for a few quid, and a paper clip. All you do, straighten out a paper clip, probably with some pliers or something like that. Then you'll need a hobby drill. You'll need to cut the paper clip so it's a little bit shorter, and you'll need a little hobby drill to drill a hole in to there, like so, and then so you can slot that in. Get that in there. Watch your hands because it will go through your finger, because it's an absolute nightmare. I've managed to do that before myself. And yeah, it's a good tool for painting high detail parts on, say, faces and stuff like that, and heads and stuff like that you can do models with. Talking of a hobby drill though, you can get your little handheld hobby drills. So these are available from a lot of good model places. So there's Goblin Gaming, for instance, who there's a link in the description for them, which it is an affiliate link. I will let you know that now, and it will earn me a little bit of cash if you order anything through there. But they are a good website. They offer you money off on what you're buying, so it's normally about 20% off Games Workshop stuff. They have a load of other bits and pieces as well. They're pretty damn good as well. They are closed at the moment, but when they reopen they'll be getting all their deliveries out and everything like that. And you can also get these little drill bits from there. There are magnets in there as well, which are handy for certain items. So like if you want interchangeable weapons on certain things, on certain models, so like if you're doing Warhammer 40k for instance, you can put interchangeable weapons on certain units and stuff like that to get them going. And then you've got all them little fine drill bits just in there, which is very handy to have with that. Other than that though, you're going to need to be able to trim off plastic and flashing and stuff like that from mold lines and everything like that. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do it the cheap easy way, which is with a box cutter. This one's just a cheap retractable one where you just break off bits of a blade so you can replace blades. If you want and you trust yourself, you can always get things like this, which it's obviously a lot more dangerous because they're a lot sharper, but you can use things like that if you want to. I mean, this is a papercraft set of blades, so you get different different blades on there and stuff like that as well. It's up to you. I don't really use this very often because I know exactly how sharp they are, and I don't really feel like cutting myself anytime soon with them, but they'll come in handy. They do come in handy for some scenery making and stuff like that. The other way of getting rid of your flashing and your mould lines and everything like that is with needle files. Also, you can get packs of things like this off Goblin Gaming and other websites, Amazon, eBay, your local model shop if you've got one near you. You get multiple files out of there, so you've got things like standard flat ones, you've got ones with kind of like edging on there, you've got round ones, so things like that, and you've got ones that have got sharper edges, and you've got some that are curved. Really good stuff for getting rid of them horrible unsightly mould lines if you wish to. Then moving on from there, you're going to need to stick it together, of course. So there's only two glues I really ever use. I use Rebel Contactor Professional, which is really good because it's got the needle kind of adapter there, so it's really good for precision. That does get clogged up sometimes though, so which is an absolute nightmare to sort out, and I do end up having to take that nozzle out and then heating it, which is not recommended, by the way, because it is actually flammable. That glue is, so don't do it very often. And super glue, so normal Bostik super glue. Don't use the Citadel super glue because you get very little for your money. You only get really small little kind of like bits for it, and to be honest, the last time I had some out of a pack of 5, 2 of them were actually empty. Don't know if they'd just evaporated or they were just dud from the start, but they were sealed and they had no glue in them. The only other glue that you might need is some PVA glue. Just get your normal cheap one from eBay, Works, or something like that. It's easy. It probably will clog up because you're not going to be using it as often sometimes, but it does come in handy. Other than that, there's things like tweezers for applying small little tufts of grass, of static grass like that, onto models. Come in really handy, things like that, and for getting little delicate pieces onto models. And then from there, there's only one other tool that I really ever use, and that is texture tools. So these are these are kind of like a sculptor's set essentially, and I use these for applying texture paints to models, so things like Stirland Mud, Valhalla Snow and Blizzard, whatever it's called, and stuff like that. Really good for that type of thing. And for smoothing over clay, if you're going to use clay, if you're going to use some Daxon or anything like that, or even using green stuff, which I'll admit I do use occasionally, it's just not very often, but they come in handy and they're pretty decent. And in all honesty, that's about it for your main kind of core tools. Occasionally you might need other little bits, but highly unlikely. You can get away with using all of that stuff pretty much all the time, and you probably will rarely need anything extra. Other than that though, guys, let me know what you think, of course. Drop me a comment down below. As always though, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time for probably a more regular kind of video. Bye bye now.